Alright. Cool. Let's see what we can, I guess, get out of this thing. There we go. Much better thumbnail. Okay. Holy smokes. Okay, perfect. So, trying to understand new gambling features in Hearthstone, because now we got Dark Moon Fair treasures. So, a place where prizes both exciting and exclusive await you on each and every push of the button. It looks like you can only pay with rune stones, so money. Cool. We got odds, we got cause, no duplicates, no disappointments. Perfection. And of course what we want is the dinosaur. We'll also take the legendary. Whatever. What the heck is this card? It's an epic? Sure, I'll take it. But we're just going to get the dinosaur, so let's just roll it. Let's see. Does Blizzard like me? No. No, they do not. I got a mage skin. Okay. So we have a new card back, and only for the low price of $2 I can spin it again. All right, let's get out of here. Okay. Oh my, and they really want you to play it, so it's like right here always. Blizzard, you dogs. Okay. So we have 2,600 gold. Let's just rip packs, I guess. Get 10. Get some beautiful looking packs. Okay, normal ones. And for some reason, my computer is lagging like no other. Shout out new expansion. 10 packs. One to grow on. Yep. Confirm that. And let's open the one good quest. And if we don't open it, we'll craft it because I think it's gonna get nerfed. We'll see. You can get these packs flowing. And we got the worst legendary. Cool. Cool. Got what I hear is actually no, the rogue one's also bad. And because I am a glutton for punishment, let's do 5 more. Just 5 more. That's all we need. Yep. 5. Okay. That's it. That's all we're doing. Gonna keep my 1,000 gold. Let's see what else we can get out of these packs. And we got no more legendaries. Okay. So the thing to do is to play the broken stuff before it gets nerfed. So let's go to everybody's favorite website, HS Guru, and just rip the best performing deck that might get nerfed. Okay. Alright, what we got? And... Yep. There's a new discard warlock in Wild. Should I do a video on that instead? Let's check it out. Let's see. Let's see. So it's... Oh, it's also dirt cheap. So I need to craft Trolley Problem. And... Ooh, Cursed Catacombs. I mean, this card's cracked. So I think I need to craft it. Or... we can rip more packs and just open it. Please hold. Your previous deck was one of a kind trolling. Oh, this one? This Paladin deck? Oh, wait, my previous discard warlock back in the day. Yeah, now it actually seems like it might be good. So, maybe I can do as like a follow-up video. You know, I kind of like that. It's like a return of like one of my favorite decks. 5 more packs. Just 5 more. And then we are going to hoard our gold until the mini set comes out. Because I assume there's another mini set coming out eventually. And no epics. Okay. That's tough. That is tough. What other discard warlocks are there? Just in case I don't want to craft Trolley Problem. Okay, yeah. We're not crafting Trolley Problem. We're not going to do that. We are instead going to play this version. It still runs the new 0 mana draw card, but like this is easier to stomach. Okay. Perfect. So we have Gloomstone Guardian, Fist of Draxus, the classics. Solarium's perfect. I have 16 515 dust. Okay. Get out of here. Discard Warlock. Okay, perfect. Nah. Everybody's doing videos on Murloc Paladin. I'm probably late to the game there. Let's play some fresh discard Warlock. Also gets the trackers going. Get my tracker going. Perfect. And this should load up discard Warlock. Perfect. It's like I've recorded a video or two in my day.
Gul'dan versus N'Zoth.
My opponent might be on something a little similar, if I had to guess.
Your soul shall be mine.
I feel like Tiny Knight of Evil might be the difference. Yeah, let's see what that does. Really want to find some enablers that aren't Gloomstone Guardian. Ooh, new card alert. Okay, instantly going for the curse. Double curse. Okay, so we're gonna instantly see how strong this deck is. Then we're with a Walking Dead. Okay. So let's do a Catacomb of our own. Malchezaar's Imp of my own. I kind of like Imp, Coin, Soulfire to get rid of their Imp, because this really feels like what this matchup's all about. And on board right now, they can't deal with him. So they'll need a way to deal 1 damage to it. And it looks like they are discarding a little better than I am. So let's go a Tiny Knight. And I am not going to dish in with my Imp just yet. I feel like my opponent might have this one. I think they got their early game tempo a little faster than I did. Yeah, they have plenty of time to even tap. Ooh. Yep. All good. Yep. That's tough. Okay, so that's the power of the deck that I'm playing, but my opponent got to show it off before I did. So that's all good. That's all great. Another Warlock. Okay, so it looks like I wasn't the only one thinking to play discard Warlock. Going to... Yeah, I'll keep the Solarium. Yeah, this hand actually looks cracked. Hopefully my turn can be as broken as my previous opponent's turn. Was throwing a Renathal deck. And they are playing Finley on 1. Did not like the hand. So let's go with our Cursed Catacomb. And my Cursed Catacomb will find me... I guess an expired merchant. So I can coin that out on one, get out my Walking Dead. So we're going to try to overwhelm my opponent with a bunch of Walking Deads. What's up, Sanguine Tears? Yeah, just Operation Overwhelm them with 2 attack minions. Okay, so Cursed Contract, or Cursed Catacombs rather, is looking strong. It's looking pretty good. So let's go with the Solarium. And maybe just like a Tiny Knight, or I could Soulfire first. I don't really want to discard this. I would not mind discarding that. Probably should have bumped into there first before doing that, but you know. So we'll go into there. Put a little bit of damage on my Walking Dead. And get them down to 30. Cool. This is my turn 3 board. Really feels like Discard Warlock is back? Question mark? Like, Cursed Catacombs is pretty messed up. So is that card. That card is also pretty gnarly. Soul Barrage. So, what am I hoping for if I tap? Soulfire, Wicked Whispers. Or I could just play a 3 mana 2/5.
So many possibilities.
I might tap next turn, but for now I'm just going to dish for 2. Symphony of Sins is pretty messed up. Okay, they are making a big Finley. And I have a Soulfire. Might as well fire that off. And another 2/5 and dish for 2 more. Health drink. Yep, looks like... Okay, so it's just Disruption Warlock? I'm cool with that. So I'm thinking it's first a tap. Discard my lowest cost. Okay. Play that fella. Play another one. Fist of Draxus is pretty good. We'll discard our Walking Dead. Get ourselves another pretty big board. Okay. That's a pretty good way to... Off to the next game. Just, you know, right off to the next one. Okay, so we're 0-2 right now. Not a good first showing for Discard Warlock, but we lost to a pretty high-rolling Discard Warlock game 1 and a hard control deck as an aggressive deck game 2. You know, that'll happen. So how's everybody liking the new expansion? Is it everything you wanted and more? Are quests absolutely cracked? Are they the best thing ever? Or is it just aggro decks from the previous standard? I do hear that Murloc Paladin is keeping the hard control decks at bay, but like in the same way that Zerg Death Knight did. So like not in the best way.
Gul'dan versus
Ooh, a
Jane.
mage opponent.
My sorcery will
Are we still
prevail.
imbuing up over there?
Soul shall be mine.
I think Soulfire is a late game card. Tiny Knight of Evil probably on turn 2 because I'm going to coin out Expired Merchant on 1. But for that reason, should I keep Soulfire just to be a discard enabler? Yeah, I'm a full keep. That seems like a pretty decent hand. Full of discard payoffs, discard spells, and minions. The quests look fun, although I still have the game uninstalled. The most sane Hearthstone player right there. So yeah, 1 mana, or turn 1 fireball you, 2 more fireballs in reserve. Much more fun watching than playing for me. I get that. I hear a lot of people share that same sentiment of like, the stress-free watching is a lot more fun. I would much rather this get countered than my Expired Merchant. Expired Merchant's probably the best card in the deck. Especially when you have Soul Barrages on deck. They're going to opt for a hero power.
Warm greetings to you.
And my hand looks absolutely disgusting right now. And then a Soulfire, another Soul Barrage. Yep. Yeah. My mage opponent probably wishes they were watching instead of playing that game. Cool. Turn 3 lethal because of old cards, but we will show a game with the new cards. No doubt. That was dirty. It was absolutely disgusting. Poor secret mage. It's rare that you feel bad for secret mages, but that's one of those rare times.
Gul'dan versus MC.
I have a rogue opponent with probably the coolest rogue skin.
Your soul shall be mine.
It's really hard to mulligan a librarian. But like, I would much rather find Cursed Catacombs or Imp. But really, like, nah, you can't throw them back. You can't throw back. I mean, you can't keep double librarian, but you can mulligan that one. And my hand looks absolutely disgusting. Okay, it's looking like a miracle rogue. Double Soul Barrage. Okay. Let's go with a Catacomb. And Catacomb will find me... It's either 2 2-1s or an Expired Merchant. With double Soul Barrage in my hand... Nah, I think I just need to keep... Double Soul Barrage is insane. Yeah. That was a really tough decision. I could definitely see Egg being the right choice. but double Soul Barrage, double Expired Merchant, that's like near perfect. Next turn is the exact same play. And if they play a minion, I am going to crash into that just to get more Soul Barrages in my hand for future discards. Cool.
Wanna bite?
And let's clean up that 2-1 and end the turn. Okay, so we need to find ways to discard stuff. So Gloomstone Guardian is probably our best draw. Soulfire, obviously insane. Looks like they're also playing the Platysaur. And if they don't play the card off of that, I am... Okay. I was definitely going to kill this as soon as possible if they just pass the turn. They're going to Shadow Step it. Okay. And play it yet again. So they're hoping they draw a 0 mana thing? An interesting time to play that. So if you bounce it... Okay, the discard no longer happens if you bounce it. So that was a very fortunate draw for them. And a very fortunate draw for me. Malkazar's Imp. Yeah, I'm going to play the Imp. Just because next turn I am going to play this, and I do not want this get in the way of the discard. Got a Secret Passage. Insane that that card used to cost 1. I'm sure we're going to be saying the same thing about Cursed Catacombs being 0 mana. Ooh, that's a new one. Discover a card from your deck. If you play it, also get one of the others. So they have a 4/1, and they did not deploy this guy again because they couldn't, I guess? Alright, so we only have good discards. Discard 2 cards. And we discarded a Fist of Jaraxxus and a Golem. Probably the 2 worst discards. And we are going to get rogued. We are getting thoroughly rogued on. Okay, well... we tried. We tried. It was tough. And they have a prep. And a swindle.
Please slow down.
Alright. Well. Give him the old, you know, well played and, you know, skedaddle.
You win this time.
Man, Miracle Rogue is good. Okay. Might be a deck I need to showcase in the future. It's like crazy how consistent that deck is. I'm very surprised they're playing the 1 mana 1/2 draw card guy. But like with Shadow Steps, it looked pretty good. And I had no idea that if you bounced it, that discard clause went away.
Gul'dan versus
Another rogue opponent. Probably looking at the same situation as last game. Probably
Soul shall be mine.
Miracle. Do I go turn 1 Expired Merchant with Fist of Jaraxxus? I feel like I need to be like mulliganing more aggressively for like Silverware Golem starts. Like that seems where this deck is like really powerful. Yeah. Okay. We're getting it. We're understanding more of the sequencing. I think turn 1 Tiny Knight is where I need to be. This is the snowball minion. And if they play something to try to contest it, I can Expired Merchant, Fist of Jaraxxus it. Okay, so this is going to be an obscene amount of damage. Perfect. I think I would rather have a taunt in the way. So let's deal massive amounts of damage this turn. And this is my board. Yep. A Knick-Knack Shack. So it looks like they are maybe on Quasar. I messed with that deck not too long ago, and I'm just snowballing out of control. Do they have the win? They could win this turn.
Let's muddy the water.
Okay. Am I being turned forward? They could whiff. They did not. They drew into the best possible. Alright. Let's see if their APM is good enough. So they're gonna gear shift. Another Knick-Knack Shack. Painfully slow animations for this deck. They opted to do a bit of attacking.
I just need a volunteer.
Okay. Again, this doesn't like... They are... It looks like they're going really slow. But like, the animations for this deck can be absolutely brutal. Okay, we have a Cold Light Oracle.
I just need a volunteer.
Another Trickster, so now they can start doing the damage. Double Gone Fishing is brutal for the animations. Alright, did they get it off in time? Double Garrote. And if they play just one card draw spell, this is probably game. Yeah. That would be game. Brutal. Really thought that game was mine. Man. I swear I never drew that well with Quasar. I mean, I did have a game actually, and it's recorded of turn 4ing somebody. But you know, it doesn't feel great on the other side. Feels terrible.
Gul'dan
Okay, we have a druid. Maybe they're a bit slower, but this is wild, so like probably not. Alright, let's get our discard synergies going. I don't think Tiny Knight of Evil is the move. But at the same time, turn 1 Tiny Knight of Evil off the coin is pretty brutal. So let's see if we can get that going. Like a Cursed Catacombs to make it a little bigger. Expired Merchant can also help get it a bit bigger. Can you deal with Tiny Knight? If you can't, it could snowball. Okay, I'm facing against Token Druid, it seems.
No, don't. It's still good.
And we're off. So we have some 2/1s, so we need to start clearing those, I guess. Platysaur will... We're going to see how good this card is. I have not yet played it. So between Kobold Librarian and Platysaur, we're just like churning through our deck. And Cursed Catacomb and the Solarium. Just so much card draw out of this deck. They did end up dealing with my Tiny Knight with good old-fashioned bees. Holy smokes. I have never once seen these cards in my life. Tiny Knight into Solarium. And that will have to do. I'm going to hope Fist of Jaraxxus hits that. No, Ghostface. Use a similar deck and it's pretty fast. Well, you know, I think my opponent might be doing something a little... Okay.
You win this time.
Okay, so let's check the old record. We are 1-5 with this deck. Oh no. Oh no, this is why you don't craft cards day 2. Oh no, it's going downhill fast. Oh. Was that like the most insane start that deck could have? Probably, but you know, feels bad. We got Warrior.
Versus Garrosh.
We have a Warrior Enjoyer.
Your soul shall be mine.
We win these every time. Turn 1 Platy. Turn 2 Chamber. Deal. Ooh, change of plans. Turn 1 Imp, turn 2 Chamber. Thoughts? Opinions? Or I could slow my roll a little bit. Platy. And maybe find something good for Expired Merchant. So just Ysera, no Renathal. You have my attention. Yeah, let's go slow. Let's get a little bit more out of... Well, I don't want to discard that. I do want to discard that. And, you know... Let's just go for the crazy turn 1. That's all I got. That's it. 2 taunt minions. Okay, so they're trying to do... Okay, so we have a 50-50 on our hands. We want Merchant to hit Golem. It hits it every time. Perfection. Couldn't have drawn it up better. And next turn will probably just be Solarium Wicked Whispers. Yeah. Solarium. That is absolutely insane. I'm cool with discarding Platy. And that will draw me 2 cards, and let's try to close out this game. And next turn I am... The only thing that can really beat me, I think, is Magma Gorger into 125 armor.
And I will break you.
So let's see if they have it. They have a Sir Finley. If they have Ceaseless Expanse in their hand, this could get awkward. Okay. That's a way to gain some armor. And then... Okay. We do have a game on our hands.
At least it was entertaining.
So let's go Cursed Catacombs into Walking Dead. And it looks like Fist of Jaraxxus is my most expensive thing. Let's also get out the Tiny Knight. And try to close out this game a little bit. Okay, so they have 5 mana, 3 cards in hand.
Your wish is my suggestion.
And they have Zephrys. Okay, well... Things are looking a little grim. And they have Swipe. And I have double Soulfire. Interesting. So I do want to clear here. And I think the play is Chambers. Yeah. Let's Chamber. Chamber will get rid of a Fist of Jaraxxus. And then we can Kobold Librarian. And this never discards the other Soulfire. Okay. We're scrapping. So it's 30 card Highlander Warlock. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of deck before. So they're going to freeze all the minions, draw 2 minions. So I just need Soulfire. And then Chambers. Phenomenal ordering, by the way. Couldn't draw it up better. And then I guess Fist of Jaraxxus again. Okay. Looks like my opponent may have stabilized. So if they have Reno this turn, yeah. So they have Sanitize, Slam into the Mad Duke. Okay. Double Dirty Rat. Okay. Yeah, I think So I could Soul Barrage, but if I Dirty Rat, I just get out my own Guardian?
You win this time.
Yeah. So we have a very impressive 1 in 6. The worst part is my opponents are playing cool decks. They're either playing the exact same deck I am or cooler decks.
Gul'dan.
Okay, we have a Druid opponent.
Let the cycle begin anew.
Your soul shall be mine.
I'm going to keep Soul Barrage just in the off chance that we hit Expired Merchant. I like having multiple discard payoffs and turn 1 Platysaur. I mean, you can't throw away this fella. No, you keep him every time.
Ah, I see you've brought guests.
Okay, we have a cheating Renathal player with its very, very high life total against our aggressive deck. Tiny Knight of Evil. No discard payoffs just yet, so gonna keep him in my hand. So maybe next turn is Tiny Knight, followed by Chamber. I'm gonna go for a Wild Growth. Very Druid. Very on brand. Let's go with Tiny Knight. And hope that this can snowball me into a win. Wild Growth Part 2 into a Hero Power. Okay, so Chamber cannot miss next turn. Only good hits. So Chamber. And I'm going to do the Silverware Golem. And honestly, I think it's just Imp. And we're dishing. So next turn is another Librarian, and then Wicked Whispers. Hopefully create a nice big and wide board. What does my Druid have for 6 mana? Of course, it is another piece of ramp. And would you believe me if I said it was even more ramp? So my opponent has done nothing but ramp. And I guess it's just Malchezaar's into discarding my Librarian. And then Solarium. This will draw me quite a bit of cards. I think I'm good with just 8 cards. I'm going to play Platysaur just so I don't overdraw. And what does my Druid opponent have for me for this turn with 10 mana? So next turn I have Another expired merchant into Soul Barrage. They're going to go with Overflow. Interesting. It has been many years since I've seen Overflow. Then a Pendant will find them. Even Ceaseless Expanse, like a full heal, doesn't save them, I don't think. Just 9. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to walk away with the win. This doesn't do much of anything, so I'll just pick this one, do a Whisper, and then Fist of Jaraxxus, and yeah, this is pretty easy lethal. Okay, so this deck can beat Do Nothing But Ramp Druid. Always good to know that you have that matchup locked up. So rushing out Tiny Knight seems to be crucial. Huge milestone. Oh yeah. Yep, I'm going to let, that's definitely going in my write-up for this deck. Can beat Do Nothing Druid. I still think this deck is good. I've just been like high rolled into Oblivion, which is like the classic Hearthstone player excuse, but that's what I'm going with. Paladin. It's been, I actually haven't seen a Paladin all day.
Your soul shall be mine.
I wouldn't mind if it stayed that way. Cursed Catacombs is supposedly the best card in the deck, so I'm going to keep that. And these two are probably some of our worst discard payoffs. We have Librarian on one, as well as Catacombs. And Catacombs will find me. Now it is the question of go wide or put up a 2/5. Let's go wide. Yeah. I think going wide is the move. Turn 1, 6 attack on board. And next turn, depending on what I draw, probably just going to Kobold Librarian. Okay, so they are on Murlocs. Another Cursed Catacombs. Okay. And since they're on Murlocs, I don't imagine they have much in the way of AoE, so let's just keep on applying that pressure. Can you deal with my army of 2/1s? Not a bad turn 2 board. Casting a random spell. In Wild, you get Crystology. Not bad. And Mermy. Okay. Perfect. We will play our Broken Location, and before we do anything drastic, let's trade first so we can actually get the value off of our location. And we are just dishing more damage. An honest 10 damage. And if this 10 damage connects again, we are just 1 Soulfire away. Or 1 lucky Fist of Jaraxxus away. Okay, so Cursed Catacombs, good card. It confirmed good card, 0 mana, draw a card, with the downside of discarding a card. In this specific deck is absolutely busted. I win 2 games and I'm calling this deck busted. Everything has changed. I don't care that my record is 3-6. Confirmed busted. I won 2 games in a row.
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
And you have another mage
My
opponent.
sorcery will prevail.
Last one was on Secret Mage, and that went very well. Am I confident that Tiny Knight of Evil is good against Mage? They could have like Seabreeze Chalice, which could be annoying. I think this is more for like slower matchups where like your opponent can't answer it. And if I coin this out, it's pretty embarrassing. So I'm going to play this on 1 and maybe coin out a chamber. Yeah. Ooh. Does that change anything? Okay, so they were going to be able to deal with my Tiny Knight very easily there. So now it's a question of, do I go Malchezaar's Imp, Solarium next turn? And I think the answer is yes.
You are not the boss of me.
Yeah, let's get our value going. Do I coin out the Platysaur? So this draws 6 as of right now. I'd rather Platysaur discard a different card. Maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. Okay, so we did not get much discard value off of that. But next turn we can go Tiny Knight, Soulfire, and it will likely discard something good. Okay, so there's gonna... Okay. Interesting. It was a good play, but it was interesting that they did it. So let's go another Platysaur and a Tiny Knight. Now, if you want to get rid of my other Platysaur, be my guest.
Follow the flutter wings.
Okay, Expired Merchant. I think it's worth it. I mean, I'm going to overdraw a card, but I do think this is worth it because Fist of Jaraxxus can take care of that straight up. It's a bit unfortunate. Catacombs will find me... Spider. And let's go ahead and give him the Fist. Perfect. And let's do a little bit more discarding. And maybe just one more piece of discarding. Okay, well I think that went pretty well. Yeah. So if they have Reckless Apprentice, I am kind of just dead. Maybe?
I can take them. Wait, not all of them.
Maybe not. I have quite a bit of health in play. It's gonna be close. Maybe not that close. So there's no difference in popping them at 4, so I am going to do that, and I'm also going to clear this guy. So let's pop them at 4. Never mind, it was an ice block. What was that? It was rigged fair game? Okay. The opponent with the secret fake out there. And me with a win streak? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can I end tonight with a even win rate?
Gul'dan versus Xavius.
Another Warlock opponent.
Your soul shall be mine.
But I have a Tiny Knight of Evil and a Cursed Catacomb. I feel like Tiny Knight of Evil is maybe not good in this matchup. Like in the mirror match, I just feel like both of our strategies go so wide that Tiny Knight of Evil will never have the chance to really snowball out of control. And I have double Cursed Catacombs. So let's first see what we got here. We have an egg. And we have a Walking Dead. And we got good old Platy, which finds hopefully my next turn play. It'd be very impressive if my opponent can kill my Platy with this board. Ooh. Probably not the rebuttal they were hoping for. With that, no, we just need to, let's stick to the game plan. Put a little bit of damage on that guy, go for the fist, and dish for a little bit of damage. My opponent does have significantly more cards than I do. And my one card does a whole lot of nothing. They're gonna coin out Wicked Whispers, which will be an egg. Okay. So I do need to deal with their imp. And I'm going to also deal with one of their spiders. Yeah, and just shove a little bit of damage. If we can find a chamber or our second expired merchant, that'd be fantastic. Soulfire would be insane. Fellstalker. Okay, they are confirmed on a very different build. Another Tiny Knight. Whatever this hits, I'm happy with. We'll take that. And we'll just shove damage. Four mana, deal 4 to a random is not really what you want, almost ever. But it'll be good enough. It will have to be good enough. I really did not feel like I was still in that game, but we will take it. So our record is seeming to shape up. After 4 losses in a row, we have rattled off 4 wins.
Gul'dan versus Anhilda.
Have a warrior opponent. The last warrior opponent did not go super well, but I have high hopes for this game, especially if we can Soulfire a Bone Web Egg. Yeah. Let's try to high roll. A Kobold Librarian. So, if we draw another discard payoff, I will go for turn 1 Imp Soulfire. Double Kobold Librarian, I can't really justify going for it. And you know, I'm just going to spew a little bit. Spew the coin out. And an Expired Merchant. Okay. Let's see if we can get, like... Yeah, Silverware Golem. That's the tempo we crave. But we are playing against a very, very hard control deck. As you can see by the turn 2 and 3 hero power. So let's see if we can be a bit lucky. Actually, Soulfire isn't absolutely necessary. Let's just try to make our board nice and big and get a little bit of value off of our imp. So if they clear the board and clear our platy, I'll be pretty sad.
Do you have this in a bigger
Okay.
size?
We're not sad yet. So this has a Silverware Golem in it. Tiny Knight of Evil.
Wanna bite?
I am actually going to trade this off. Because I do want to get value off of our Expired Merchant. And let's dish a little bit more. And also hit my opponent with a tap. So we are not quite in Reno range yet. They're at 5 mana. But we are in Brawl range. Okay. And I think I'm good on value for now. So let's just go for a chamber. Tiny Knight. Play or discard the more expensive one. Another Soulfire. Not a bad pickup. And we have not lethal. Okay, okay. let's go for Imp into... I really do not want to discard Solarium. I'm not going to. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Let's Solarium. Let's Wicked Whispers, I guess. Not the most value I've ever seen from an egg, but that will need to do. And don't feel like I need to tap because I'm about to draw 2 cards. And I have more cards on the way with Chamber. We have a Nightmare. So if they have Reno that they discover, do I still have Lethal? Because I do have a Tiny Knight. Another Brawl. Okay. I still have a pretty good chance of having Lethal... Never mind. Never mind on that one. That is very unfortunate.
I wonder.
So discover a minion from my deck and make it temporary. Let's get the egg out. Let's go Tiny Knight. Discard 2 off of this big taunt guy. Chamber will discard a Walking Dead. And I am about out of cards. But I have this big board to deal with. So if this is the Reno turn, we are pretty much done for. So let's slowly watch Finley draw some cards. And then we'll shield block. Draw some big taunt minions. And Reno Jackson. So maybe we can go 2 here. Soul Barrage. And I very much doubt this is enough. Yeah, that's good game for me. Tough matchup. Absolutely brutal brawl there. Let's just drink out of an empty glass, why not? We will get to Diamond. I think Diamond is the next rank. I believe I'm in Platinum. If I'm in Silver, Lord help us. Okay.
versus Mal'Ganis.
We are against another warlock.
Your soul shall be mine.
But we do have Solarium. It really just feels like Cursed Catacombs is really the card I'm looking for. Naturally, since I threw back the Soul Barrage, Expired Merchant is the card I draw.
You are not the boss of me.
Ooh. Let's go for a Platy. And, you know, let's get lucky. No. Unfortunately, no luck. Very crucial that we deal with the Imp on turn 1. And discarding Expired Merchant isn't great, but I think of all the discards, this one would have been the worst. This one actually gets me back in the game.
You are not the boss of me.
Another Imp. And a Walking Dead. Let's see if we can also get a bit lucky. So Solarium will find some pretty good ones. And an egg. And we will call it a day there. Okay. Yeah. Not mad at that. Okay, so they are going to try to really dunk on me. So I do need to deal with their Tiny Knight. And that will be a lot easier with that pickup. So how should I do this? I think it's still just send these two nerds in and then just clean up that guy. So me and my opponent are definitely scrapping right now. Snow Flipper Penguin. Can't say I was expecting that one. Let's play a 2/5. And I think my 2/5 is just dead no matter what next turn, so I'm just going to send this face. So me and my opponent are kind of just spinning our wheels. And they have a 2/5 for their own. Chamber. Yeah. Let's chamber. It's tempting to keep it in hand for next turn, but I really just need to draw out of this sooner rather than later. Just gonna crash in with my 4/3, I guess. Because I could draw potentially Soul Barrage next turn. Kind of looks like they have Soul Fire there. They have a Frenzied Fellwing. And they did opt to a Soulfire there. Phenomenal hit. I think it's a little too late for the old Librarian. Expired Merchant. So I'm at 6 and they definitely have lethal. Brutal. Brutal matchup.
Gul'dan versus Lady
Shaman opponent. First Shaman of tonight.
To Queen Ajara.
Your soul
And
shall be
this
mine.
hand can't get much worse than that. Now it's always the question of, do you rip the Solarium on turn 1? I might just wait to see if I can get a imp before I start doing something like that. Like, of course, like, the positive side is if, like, you only hit discard payoffs. But you could also just, like, discard expired merchants like I was about to draw just then. And you cannot afford to be discarding these. So let's go ahead and get the damage rolling. So next turn, I might just go for Chamber, actually. So this does appear to be Big Shaman, which can be a bad matchup if they have an early Muckmurfer. So let's go ahead and get our Walking Dead out. Draw our cards. And now next turn I have the Imp Solarium combo. And that... yeah. Wait, I mean, what can you do, you know? Okay. You know, where's gaming? I thought I had a pretty good start, too.
Gul'dan versus Valera.
Very, very fast rogue opponent, I assume.
Your soul shall be mine.
I'm gonna throw away Chamber because I do have Merchant, Silverware Golem. I might at the same time go turn 1 Tiny Knight, turn 2 Expired Merchant. Because they can kind of just get ran over by Tiny Knight. So let's see if it's that kind of game. Carry me, Tiny Knight. Okay, just a Door of Shadows. Then a Gone Fishin', and I highly doubt they run Backstab. So I'm thinking that my Tiny Knight might be safe. Hold. Could be wrong. Into Gear Shift. Okay, okay. And surely they're done doing stuff. Okay, perfect. Speaking of perfect, also get a Soul Barrage going. So then we're hitting him for 7, 11, plus 2, so maybe 13 damage next turn. If they don't have... So they've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total spells for their giants. Make that 8. Yeah. That will answer it. I could bump, or I could just start flinging damage at their face still. Yeah, let's just keep flinging damage. Okay, well that guy is dead. And I don't think an egg is in my future, so let's just hit for 2. So more spells. Their giants are nearing 0 mana. Oh yeah, they're definitely going to be 0 mana. Here comes the giants. Very surprised. So let's go Cursed. Probably just Expired Merchant, honestly. Plus a Tiny Knight. Get that Silverware Golem out. And Breakdance can end this game very easily.
I raise, you fold.
So double coin. Arcane Giant.
Your wish is my
And
suggestion.
Zephyrus. Into nothing. Okay, perfect. Okay. So they did kind of have to do a lot to answer that Tiny Knight. So that really just shines a light on like how good Tiny Knight of Evil is in these like super uninteractive matchups.
Gul'dan versus Thrall.
Okay, we have another shaman. The last shaman I played against had a turn 3 Neptulon. I did lose that one, thank you for asking. But now I have turn 1 Imp. And how can you lose with a turn 1 Imp? Do not answer that question. I appreciate it. So let's go Imp.
Not the boss of me.
And then next turn, probably Platy Wicked Whispers. Or maybe just double drop. Kind of like the idea of double dropping. Really wasn't hoping for that. And we did forget to attack. Which, you know, if I lose by 1 damage, so be it. I probably won't. So next turn's probably Imp Soulfire. And hopefully don't discard Wicked Whispers. Don't kill my Platy. Appreciate ya.
You are not the boss of me.
So let's see if we can luck out. Yeah, we'll just Solarium instead. Draw our million cards. And we will draw up to 9. Perfect. So we have Soulfire next turn for 4 damage. And I believe that might be game. Another turn 3 impossible to beat board. So maybe I just need Soulfire here. Okay. Wicked Whispers. Okay, okay, we're getting there. And then hopefully this can clear that 3-1. Naturally doesn't. Okay. We're just gonna shove damage. Naturally does not. Just that Soul Barrage couldn't figure out a way to touch that 1 health. So if they don't have Muck Morpher or another Ancestor's Call into something insane, we might be walking away with a win. I'm not sure what pointing something at their own minion could be meaning. Okay, a jam session. We can beat a jam session. And then a reincarnate. That's a bit harder to deal with. But if my expired merchant can just do the same thing next turn. Yeah. It just needs to clear. Okay, no, this is still very lethal. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Much closer than it had any right being. If Ancestor's Call found any other minion in that deck, we probably don't win, but we don't worry about that. We just worry about our beautiful, beautiful diamond rank. Overall, this deck seems pretty cool, pretty solid. I've been kind of running a bit cold with it tonight. Had a awful string of losses at the beginning, but seems to be performing pretty well now.
Gul'dan versus
Some Gul'dan versus Gul'dan action. Gul'dan, rather. Sorry, announcer, that literally just said his name. Turn 1 Platysaur, turn 2 Expired Merchant for some Golems. Seems pretty strong. Or for some Walking Deads. They have acquired a dinosaur. Change of plans. Actually, Just run out the Platy. I would much rather this get more value than that. Fine, give me that Librarian. Fine, I'll take them. Okay, I can answer that pretty easily. So let's go ahead and do just that. Okay, almost missed all my shots on that one. Would have much rather kept the 1-2 around than to trade it in, but that is not the reality we live in. And they did hit the silverware. Another Soul Barrage. Am I just playing a 3-mana 3/4? I think I am. Doesn't feel necessarily great. Especially with that coming down. Yeah, they're kind of styling on me now. That is not great. And this only has one bad discard. Oh, naturally. Yeah, we don't win those ones. Oh, discard Warlock, never change.
Gul'dan versus Mal'Ganis.
Another Warlock.
Shall tremble.
Alright, might need to give the Warlocks a time to shuffle out a wild here soon. I know I'm like adding to the problem, but it's only cool when I do it. That's what I say. If I'm playing the most popular deck, it's cool. If my opponents are doing it, it's lame. In summary. Okay, turn 1 Snow Flipper Penguin. Let's go Librarian. And now we have a 50-50 to discard something good. We're the best. No one's better than us. It's just that simple. Now, if we're really skilled and talented, we'll draw our own imp. Or the game is over. That also works.
Gul'dan versus the
Yet another shaman. Is it the third big shaman of the night?
Your soul shall
Stay
be
tuned
mine.
to get absolutely dunked on by Walking Mountain. This hand is hot garbage. Really need ways to discard those guys. Can't have oops all discard minions.
I see you've brought
Here we got a Reno Shaman, I am suspecting. And... I think it's just Imp. And play the Imp. Kind of unlucky not to get one of the discard payoff minions, but what can you do? You can play 2 Platysaurs. Yeah, 2 Platysaurs. Okay, no positive discarding outlets yet. Or we do have discard outlets, just no Walking Dead, Silverware Golems, you know, the hits. Okay, well, I've felt in a better situation, but the chamber can get us out of this surely.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens
Okay,
us.
we have an Astalor on the way, and we have Tiny Knight. Let's Solarium. And am I okay with those discards? I could rip this. Or I also kind of need to draw cards.
I wonder.
But would I just rather him be really big? Good point. Let's just make him really big. And we will give him +6, +3. I think we are on Operation This Has to Win Me the Game. Carry on Grub. We will crash into there. Maybe take care of him with a fist. Nope, just straight ahead. Gotta respect that. Another Walking Dead for additional taunt protection. And do I just want to discard this? Yeah, let's go ahead and discard it. It was going to be discarded at the end of turn anyway, but would rather get that value in now. So again, we were on Operation winning with that guy, but we are instead getting devolved. Okay. So let's see what Chamber has in store for us. Let's get out our 2/1s. A Soul Barrage. Okay. Get out the 3/4 and deal a little bit of damage. Thanks for stopping by, son. Appreciate it. Okay, can I somehow get lethal here? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 whole damage. Really wouldn't mind a way to discard something. Wicked Whispers is a way to discard something.
You are not the boss of me.
So I could... Honestly, there's a lot of stuff that discards left. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and discard there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we have Expired Merchant and Guardian left. So in the off chance that Fist hits their minion, okay, not the end of the world. We can at least trade. And we'll end the turn there. Definitely did not have any opportunity for lethal there. And my opponent might have lethal right now. But with only one activation of their quest, if they're like on like Murmur or something, or one activation of their location rather, they can go Murmur, activate location.
This is my suggestion.
What could that be? 5 mana. They could Brawl. Okay, they're gonna go for a Brawl. As long as I win the Brawl, I may have a chance for lethal. Or I think it's guaranteed lethal, rather. So we get the Soul Barrage out of here. And then we can tap into our last Soul Barrage and Expired Merchant them out of the game. And that is probably the best advertisement I could have for a deck tracker right there, because we knew our last card was Soul Barrage. Not bad. Was not expecting to beat Reno Shaman, especially with that brutal Lightning Storm on the early turn.
Gul'dan versus Xevious.
Another Warlock. How many Warlocks have I played with this deck? So 32% of my games have been against Warlock. So if you're playing Wild right now, get comfortable facing against the deck I'm playing, honestly. This hand seems great. Soulfire is kind of tempting to keep, with Silverware Golem especially. So I can go turn 1 Imp, Cursed Catacomb, Soulfire, maybe their Imp. Yeah. If they go aggressive with their Malchezaar's Imp, I definitely need to be able to Soulfire it. And they do have the egg. So yeah, let's see what we have as well. We have Walking Dead. And we can go Imp. And hopefully this hits one of these two. That's probably the most perfect one we can hope for. Clear their board. Get our Walking Dead. Draw cards. Not bad. So if they spend this turn dealing with my Imp, I'm feeling pretty good because that was their whole turn. And if they just hit the concede button, that's also fine by me. So turn 1 lethal. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. And we are churning through these ranks. Okay. So if I win one more game, I have a positive win rate with this deck. So we have to play at least one more to get that positive.
Gul'dan
And it's
versus
yet
Thompson.
another Warlock.
Clear the stage.
Your soul shall be mine.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. I mean, everybody's doing it, including me. So let's see if we can also get more lucky than my opponent. So we really want to find that specific card. And it has to be Imp, I think. So let's get Imp out. Those were kind of duds. Was really hoping for a discard payoff with like Egg or Fist of Jaraxxus could have been good if Cursed Catacombs could discover spells. So let's just like really, you know, just go absolutely crazy. Yeah, we're just going full aggro right now. So if they put any minion on the board, I'm going to trade this in and then Soulfire them. Okay. So we just need to not discard this card. So actually, let's go ahead and bump here. This will need to deal with their Tiny Knight, naturally. We'll tap. And call it a day. So, good start, but kind of suspect right now because we discarded the 1 in like 6. But you know, that happens. If we can find our Gloomstone Guardian though, we are right back in. Like we're already like crazy ahead. I don't know who I'm trying to convince otherwise, but we could be even further ahead is what I'm saying. So let's draw that card. Draw that card. And I am actually going to throw out this egg because my hand space is getting a little awkward. So we've drawn a few more cards than my opponent. Never mind. We are about even at this point.
You are not the boss of me.
Never mind. They are way farther ahead than me. Ooh, Scourge Supplies. Seems a bit expensive for this deck, but to each their own. Perfection. Another reason I ran out the egg. And this is going to hit my poor little fella. And am I trading off my Malcazar's Imp? So this discards down to 7, draws 3. Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. I'll trade it afterwards. Either of those are phenomenal hits. And that is also a phenomenal hit. Yeah.
It's still good.
So that turn went a lot better than I was ever expecting it to, and they burned the good card. Cool.
You are not the boss of me.
So they really need to clear my board with a Soul Barrage this turn. Let's see if they can piece that together. If they don't play Soul Barrage, Wicked Whispers will take care of them. Okay, that was not Soul Barrage, but that is Walking Dead. So I need to find my own Soul Fire to clear the way from this taunt. And if I can do that, it is pretty much game over. So let's Librarian. And I believe Chamber as well. This will give me the most looks. This could also... Perfect. And all I need to do is not discard my good card. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead, buff up my board.
Wanna bite?
And I do actually not have lethal. But I do want to also take care of their 10-2, because this could end up killing me if I don't take care of it. So let's go ahead and not die. So next turn we're hoping for Solarium. Or we could not double Soul Barrage, but Soul Barrage off of this chamber, hopefully. And then draw our other Soul Barrage for 12 damage. Or we can get really lucky with a Fist of Jaraxxus. Got a Cursed Catacombs. That will find nothing. No mana spent though, so... all good.
I must hasten.
Another Wicked Whispers. Discarding their other expired merchants. They've had 0 expired merchants this game. The Bone Web Egg is rock solid.
Conduct yourself well.
You haven't heard the
And
last
they
of me.
opted just to, you know, peace out. They were in fatigue, but I still think they may have had the win. But we have a positive win rate. Heck yeah. Do I risk the positive win rate? No. Nope. I believe that is all she wrote. Yeah. But before I sign off, let's go check out this rewards track. Wait, there's a different. Who the heck are these people? Okay, where to search? We got Bran. We got Finley, we got Reno. You gotta pick the main man. Oh, we can also see what we're gonna get. Okay, perfect. So do I want a paladin, mage, or hunter skin? Easiest hunter skin of my life. Oh. Probably should have looked at this before I started playing games. Oh well. And we have exciting rewards track. And you know, just start clicking on stuff. We have Lie in the Wait, which is the worst quest. Not bad. Roll it. Beautiful. Just look at all these beautiful animations. Ugh. Roll it. Just, yep. Avert your eyes. Roll that nonsense. Got an epic. Ooh. I actually wanted that card. Alright, anyway. Off we go. Get a card back. And that's about it. This. No, I already own that one. This one's awesome. Okay. I just used the default skins anyway, but you know, I could say I have that one now. And beautiful. We have 7 packs to open. Give them a good shake. And we got an epic, and some rares. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that's all she wrote for this edition of Fruit Barely Goes Positive with a good deck. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. But other than that, that's all I got. Have a good one. Bye.